Turn them around. Boat is ready. All right.
Cleaning out the tanks and pulling on the straps.
Flip her in. All right, tight as you can.
These volunteers are prepping for a day a long time in the making.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, up.
Each turtle a different size, a different breed, receiving months, even years of rehab by these dedicated volunteers.
It's like sending your kid off to college and not knowing what's going to happen to them. But at the same time, they need to spread their wings and learn real life. And the turtles need to go back where they belong.
Protecting and mending sea turtles is in Jean Beasley's blood.
Chadwick has actually 7 boat prop cuts. The back end of her was cut off.
Her love of animals came from her daughter Karen, who spent her life working to save sea turtles until her untimely death.
She lost her battle with her illness, and we started looking for a piece of property to lease, and we used that money matched by our family and other donations, and we built our first facility.
And over the years, Jean's operation has expanded so much it outgrew its old facility. So money was raised and hard work done to open this brand new hospital for sea turtles.
It's a dream come true for all of us, really. No hooks, no cold. You got to leave when it's still time, okay?
And all this hard work and years of dedication led up to this.
It's a great day. Yes, it is. You ready?
Ready.
Put him down.
The release of dozens of mended turtles back into the wild.
They're doing a great job of getting out here in this surf.
Volunteers battling waves while turtles fight for their lives. All-weather rescuer, mentor, and friend leads the charge.
Just hope they know what they're supposed to do now. Don't stay over when it gets too cold. Stay away from hooks and call home. And not for money.
For this week's Giving Back, I'm Caroline Blair. From missing eyes to injured wings.
He was hit by a car, and it was up near Lumberton.
Each animal at the Seabiscuit Wildlife Shelter is facing an uphill battle.
You want to be first, Tim? Go on, get up there.
Instead of flying south for the winter, these injured or orphaned birds are stuck in the cold Carolinas.
He has a horrible case of frostbite. Sometimes they get their pouches frostbitten too. They're all very hungry. They spent the night in here because it's got an electric heater and a propane heater.
Heat and a safe place to call home, all thanks to Mary Ellen Rogers.
It's really kind of gratifying when you can find a happy ending for the guys that otherwise wouldn't have any choice.
But opening the shelter itself wasn't easy for Rogers. Moving to Oak Island, she found no bird rescue center nearby, so she spent years volunteering to meet wildlife standards before opening the Animal Haven and Education Center.
It's like a hospital. They just come from everywhere, and we have no idea when or how this is going to happen. Might be a phone call, it might be somebody who comes right to the door with a bird in a box.
Now, not all success stories here at the shelter are the same. Not all of the animals can be released into the wild like this guy who's missing part of his wing, so he will be placed at a zoo in Salt Lake City.
This is the smallest owl we have.
But none of this would be possible without additional volunteers.
I get pleasure out of helping these guys, and Mary Ellen needs help.
With no paid staff or government funding, they join Rogers at the shelter and in the community, selflessly giving back.
It's 8 hours a day, that's for sure.
A love of nature and a will to save soaring creatures along the coast.
I don't want my people to say, oh, she was a great wife and mother, or she was a great real estate agent. I want them to say, that's the woman who started the Seabiscuit shelter. And I want it to be a big and wonderful shelter at that point.
For this week's Giving Back, I'm Caroline Blair. Piling out of buses and onto boats.
Watch your step, single file line.
One by one, these kids are in for a midweek treat.
We hope you're having a great day. How are y'all today?
A great day full of not just fun, but first for many. Have you ever been to the ocean?
Just lakes and ponds. This is my first time actually fishing.
I don't really get away a lot, so I'm going to remember this day.
With the hot summer air in their lungs and the breeze in their hair, these kids look like regulars on a pirate boat or with a fishing rod, tackling the water head on.
A lot of these children have never been out of the county that they live in. They also do not have a strong family unit, and it's great for them to be able to spend a day with people teaching them skills that they can use for a lifetime.
The Take a Kid Fishing Foundation hosts a special day once a year, made possible by the tens of thousands of dollars in donations and hundreds of volunteers.
Now can I fish?
Most of them still are from North Carolina, and you think, oh, it's only a couple hours drive, but for a lot of people, that's a lot of work.
You're going to get to be a part of that memory.
Yeah, I'll be with me for a while.
Over the last 25 years, more than 13,000 kids have taken part in this special day, learning not only how to fish, but about sustainability and the environment.
And for a special group from the School of the Blind, it's not seeing the waves and fish, but feeling them that truly makes this nautical dream come true.
I get to touch them, and I get to feel them.
Sounds good to me.
It's just worth it just seeing when they come up, they have smiles from ear to ear.
And it's fun, because you get to see what they feel like up close and personal experience with a fish.
A rare treat for these thankful newfound anglers who are now hooked for life.
Just thank you for helping me. That's all I have to say. And I love you guys.
For this week's Giving Back,
Fantastic. Right out there in the middle.
I'm Caroline Blair. When most would sit back, relax, and enjoy retirement,
There's bread ready if you want it.
87-year-old Ruth Clifton is moving full speed ahead.
When I wake up in the morning, I think, what day is today?
Instead of staying home, Clifton hops in her car. And while it gets her from point A to B, that's not what's driving her to give back.
You get what you give, That's my feeling anyway.
For 50 years, Clifton worked as an assistant in high-end department stores, skills she's continuing to use in a different fashion decades later.
I don't do a wonderful job for one thing. I do a little bit for a lot of things. I'm never bored.
Clifton keeps up with people a fraction of her age.
We have a lot of volunteers that are younger, even younger than me, trying to keep up with her. So she moves around pretty fast. She doesn't sit long.
This is basically what I do.
Instead, she roams from place to place, donating her time and talents, from the Habitat for Humanity Restore.
You going to start getting the Christmas stuff out soon, do you think?
To the Jacksonville Soup Kitchen.
Miss Ruth is willing to do anything.
We stack them up here, and then when they come in the window, they hand us a bag, and then we start stacking the bags.
And let's not forget cross-stitching for church, quilting for the homeless, answering phones at the chamber, and visiting the local nursing home.
My husband passed away.
How long has he been gone?
2000.
Oh, yeah.
Changing and touching lives along the way, even if just for a moment.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know any other way to say it. Just from the bottom of my heart to all of them.
All this is just a fraction of the way Clifton is leaving her mark, doing what she can to help her neighbors, asking for nothing in return.
And she's motivating those around her to do the same.
I asked God to keep me here as long as I could be useful. Anybody could do it. It's just, I'm blessed to have energy, I guess.
Proof the road to giving back never has to end. Caroline Blair, News 14, Carolina.